Hello, hello, hello! I'm back! And I'm here to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, what, you're talking about a game that came out a year ago? Well, yes, I am, because recently I got back into it. I got the 100%, or platinum, some might say. And Monster Hunter Stories 3 is coming out in a couple days from now, so what better timing? Now, I had many things to say about the game when I first reviewed it, and honestly, looking back at that review, I think I was a little too nice to it. I gave Capcom a little too much grace, because as time went on, between then and now, I grew to hate this game. Now, obviously, hating Monster Hunter Wilds is a little different than hating, like, Sex with Hitler 2. Maybe not the best example, but I think you get the point. Or maybe you don't. Basically, like, obviously I still enjoyed the game, but I had this hatred in my heart for it because it should have been so much more. After playing it, after all the updates and everything, it's a lot closer to what I wanted. So I'd like to go over the changes. Starting with Title Update 1 now. I'm going off of memory here. We are not professional on this channel. I don't put effort into my videos. Subscribe though. Listen, Title Update 1, high rank Zoshia and Mizutsune. Now, we'll start with Zoshia, because one of the things I asked for and complained about was the lack of difficulty in the end game, or the game in general. But the end game should at least have some difficulty, and to be frank, it didn't. Now, I was very happy with this, because the quest was actually difficult. And that was one of the major problems I had with the game. Now, obviously, they didn't go back and make the whole game harder, but I wasn't really expecting them to. I was just hoping the new monsters would be hard, and high rank Zoshia was. Mizutsune, not so much. And to be honest, I would have preferred a different monster. We just fought Mizutsune in Rise, and honestly, I would say the fight was more fun in Rise, so I wasn't over the moon about Mizutsune being the first new monster, but it is what it is. I think later on they added Arch-Tempered Greydao. I didn't fight him until more recently, but that fight was also hard and super fun. Possibly the most fun fight in the game, in my opinion. Now, Title Update 2 was a big one, because they added Lagiacrus in the game, and I can't remember the last time we had Lagiacrus, but he's my favorite monster because of my memories with my first Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, or Tri, but in Tri, I didn't get that far, so we'll just say Ultimate. And Lagiacrus for a regular monster is pretty hard, so I was pretty happy with that. And the underwater section, honestly, a surprising amount of effort for just one monster. I can't hate on it. What I can hate on is Seregios, though. No, I don't have much hate for Seregios. Honestly, I don't even know where Seregios is from. He's kind of demonic, the way he dives in and like claws at you. He's all right. I don't really have any feelings towards him, to be honest. I would have preferred maybe like Bazelgeuse. I know I just said we just had Mizutsune, but Bazelgeuse would have been cool in this game, I think. Either way, we can move on to Title Update 3, which only added one monster. It was Omega Planetes. Now, to be honest, I was very disappointed with the reveal of this monster, because I knew a Final Fantasy collab was coming, and I never fought, I believe it's Behemoth, right, in World, but I watched my dad fight him, and I thought it was so cool. This fight, well, he looked less cool, so I was a little disappointed with the choice they made, and I didn't even play this Title Update when it came out, but I played it since, and Omega Planetes is super hard and super fun, so I'm pretty happy with it. I think they could have done a little more with the Final Fantasy collab. It felt a little lackluster overall, but Omega Planetes himself, I was pretty happy with. I can't say as much for Gogmazios. I do not like Gogmazios. This is Title Update 4. I'm not a big Gogmazios fan. I'm not a fan of big monsters. It's just not as fun to me, and I also don't like gimmicky monsters, and he's kind of both. The third phase is a little less gimmicky. Well, he has the big attack gimmick, which is fine. That's not the kind of gimmick I'm talking about. But even still, he's a little too big for my liking. Pause. Or would it be pause if I said he wasn't big enough for my liking? I think it's pause either way, because I'm talking about how big something is for my liking. So let's just give a general pause. Now, the fight itself, I'm not a massive fan of. I don't want to do it again to grind Gogma Ardian Weapon rerolls, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm just going to mention they just added Arch-Tempered Archveld, and that's their last monster edition, I think. And I was fighting Arch-Tempered Archveld. I was 22 minutes in, 0 deaths. It's a very hard fight, and lightning struck and took my power out, and I haven't soloed the mission since. I know for a fact I could beat it, but honestly I want to beat it with my friends, or friend Zahit. Now Zahit sucks at the game, so you may be seeing in the background footage me and him. If you see Zaza, that's him fighting Arch-Tempered Arkveld. We haven't beat it. Nonetheless, we can go back to Gog Mazios and talk about Ardean weapons. Now, Ardean weapons in general, I'm not a big fan of. I've never been a big fan of them. And the two friends that I play Monster Hunter with are also not big fans of them. I like using the actual monster weapons, and Gogma Ardean weapons kind of make everything else obsolete. So, I mean, I appreciate them for giving us something to grind for at the end. And I appreciate the addition of skills, you know. It makes the build crafting a little more fun. But I feel like maybe they could have made it like a charm or something. Like the charm had the skills and maybe enhanced elemental or affinity or regular attack. I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying that 100% is a better idea, but I would have much rather had the thing you grind for be something you put on a weapon, on an actual monster weapon, rather than it actually be the weapon, because I just like using monster weapons, man. Maybe I'm old school, and maybe I know I'm not alone on this because my friends feel the same way, but maybe we're not alone in this. And I guess to generally address the difficulty, I think every monster that's been added post-release, the difficulty has been good. It's been balanced or imbalanced, but on the right side, you know? It's a little too hard, which I'd much rather too hard than too easy. I know a lot of people were complaining about Arch-Tempered Arkveld. Honestly, I don't feel the same. I think it's... this is coming from someone who hasn't even beat him yet, but I like how difficult it is. So yeah, I would say I'd say they did a good job of addressing that. Oh, and also, a big thing that made it much easier than it should have been was the wounds. They made it so that... And I'm pretty sure this was an update. I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the base game. They made it so that wounds show up much less on either higher rank monsters or tempered / arch-tempered monsters. So that makes it much harder, which is good. And we could quickly address performance as well. They just put out a performance patch. It runs much better, noticeably better. It doesn't run amazing, but it runs well enough, and I'm glad they addressed it somewhat. I hope they continue to try to optimize it more, but I'm pretty happy with the performance currently. But, you know, we talked about all those updates, and honestly, I expected more. Now, were my expectations too high? You let me know. Any World players out there? Let me go on a little bit of a tangent here. I played base World. I played World pre-updates, and I kind of stopped. Now, I stopped. My father, he was kind of obsessed with the game. Like, he had 4 figures of hours when all was said and done, which I've never put that many hours into a game, so kudos to him, I guess. But I saw him play the game, and it felt like every other day there was something crazy going on, some event, some special quest. Now, I could be wrong here. This was all secondhand, and obviously I said every other day. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but it felt like there was frequently something new and interesting to bring you back into the game or keep you playing. I was expecting that here, and before release and even after release, I was thinking, I'm gonna keep up with this game, bro. Like, I'm gonna consistently play it and make sure to get all the events and all the cool armor and whatever, all that stuff. And I dropped off quick because it felt like there was nothing, and it still kind of feels like there wasn't much. I know there was the Street Fighter collab, which I was like, oh, I'll hop back in for that, and I didn't. I didn't even hop back in for Title Update 3. It just feels like there's a disappointing amount of events or special content in the game. And I fully acknowledge that my expectations might have been a little too high from seeing my dad play World, but it really did seem like there was a lot more in World. If someone could let me know, it'd be appreciated. I tried to look it up, and again, I don't put effort into my videos, so when I couldn't find it easily, I just gave up. But look, after coming back to it, after playing a lot, getting a taste of most of the new content, for what the game started out as, I'm pretty happy with it. Because this is the most fun gameplay besides maybe Rise. I'm not sure. For a mainline game, I'd rather this content than I'd rather this combat than Rise's combat. You know, more grounded feel and all that. So I just wanted some cool, tough monsters to fight using this combat system. And they gave me that. And they're going to be giving us more soon. They announced that they're working on a big DLC like Iceborne or Sunbreak, which was to be expected. And considering Title Update 4 was the last title update, I'm assuming it's coming later this year. I know that they said that they were showing it off in the summer, which makes me assume that it is coming out this year. But this is the make or break moment for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is how legends are made. Those who watch UFC, you might have heard that song before. I think Dude Perfect uses it as well. This is what decides their fate. This is what decides if I love Capcom or set out to destroy them, figuratively. I won't actually destroy them. I'll have mercy because they're honestly one of the best video game publishers, developers, companies in the field right now, in the field. But seriously, don't make the same mistakes. And I feel like they won't, but don't make the start of the DLC easy. Just make it whoop our asses off rip right away. Set the bar. I don't want any easy monsters in this. And I want cool monsters because fuck most of the new monsters you added. I don't give a fuck about Ronpoplio, especially the 10-star Ronpoplio. Fuck you. I don't care about Nursilla. I don't care about Lalabarina, who's, I guess, okay. Chadacabra is cool for like the intro monster, whatever. Balahara, fuck you. All these boring ass, lame ass monsters, lame to look at, lame to fight. Dude, lock the fuck in for this DLC for the new monsters. And the old monsters you add, I don't give a fuck if they were in the last game or the game before. Add the fucking sick ones. I want to see Teostra in here. How fucking sick would that be to fight Teostra in this gameplay system, in this combat system? Dude, that's like, that might be #1 most wanted monster in this game. Teostra was a fucking demon. Dude, add Tigrex. Add that demon in. I fucking hate Tigrex. I just want to whoop his ass. Add Tigrex in. Diablos. Where the fuck is Diablos? Oh, and another thing. Look, I know these are like common ass monsters, like fucking, but I mean, I missed them, dude. I fucking missed them. Another thing, why the fuck did they decide to just get rid of like monster variants? No pink Rathian, no blue Rathalos. That's such an easy little addition for some variety and they didn't do it. I'm not like outraged over it because it's not like they were massively different fights, but easy win that you just don't take. Is it because of the Guardian ones? They didn't think that they needed more than Guardian variants? I mean, I think that was an easy win and kind of a fumble, but whatever. Are those like usually added in the DLC or something? Am I tripping? Maybe. Anyways, we need difficulty and we need cool fucking monsters, bro. Simple. Monster Hunter Stories 3 comes out in a couple days. I'm extremely hype. I'm backed up on shit to do. I'm backed up on videos to make. Guess that's a good problem to have. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. And subscribe.